Now, speak to me.
I love you.
Yes, speak to me of love.
I love you.
Now be eloquent, be brilliant for me.
I love you very much.
I ask for cream and you give me milk and water.
I adore you.
And that's from Cyrano de Bergerac. And if you haven't seen that, it is so well worth seeing. Have you ever been in that type of a situation where you just feel like you want to be fluent, you want to be able to speak eloquently, but the words just aren't there? Whether you're with a boss, whether you have to do some public speaking and you get tongue-tied, how do you deal with those situations? That's one of the many things you can call and ask me about. I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner, and my show's The Rational Basis of Happiness, and we can talk about anything that's on your mind. You can give me a call now, toll-free, 1-877-DRKENNER. That's toll-free, 1-877-Dr. Kenner, and you can go to my website, drkenner.com, drkenner.com. And right now we're turning to the phones and welcoming Lynette. Lynette, welcome to the show. Tell me, what's your question?
I need to know how to get my husband to let his mother go.
Okay, how long have you been married?
We've been married a year, but we've been together for 7 years.
7 years, so 7 years together.
Yeah.
And tell me, what's the most irksome thing that happened recently relating to your husband and his mom?
The fact that she wants us to come over her house on Christmas, and Christmas is our anniversary. It'll actually be our first anniversary this year. And I mentioned to him about doing something with us just together by ourselves. But I know his mom, she's probably going to want us to stay over there all day. I mean, it's been like stuff since we've been together, but sometimes he'll slow down, like he won't call her for like a couple of days.
Okay.
And then she'll call and be mad because he hadn't called her. Or when they're on the phone, she'll ask stuff about me. And sometimes I get a vibe that she's talking about me. I've been having this vibe for a while.
Okay, so you probably have some evidence. It's not just a vibe. You're not stupid. What's some of the evidence? People
way they come around and the way they look at me whenever I'm around them, or the way they talk to me.
You mean as if they're scanning you, as if they're trying to get the dirt on you?
Yeah.
Not quite, huh?
Not quite, but it's like we'll be talking about something, and I could say something about my husband, something good, and she would, try to put it down to make me feel bad about it, or maybe I'll mention something to her about what we did or what I would do for him on his birthday or something. And she'll probably, it seems to me, I don't know for sure, but it seems to me like she'll try to talk to him as far as in like, I'm not a good person for him, or...
Okay, was that an issue? I mean, did he have the courage to marry against his mother's wishes? Did he marry someone...
I believe so.
So he did have some courage.
Yeah.
Okay.
He have some, but it seemed like
you weren't
being his mom, and when she says something, he feel he should do it.
And do you understand where that came from in his childhood? Why he feels he has to kowtow to her? Does he feel really guilty for having given her a hard time at some point in his life? Or has he always been a yes ma'am, I'll do whatever you want type person?
No. He said while they was growing up that he had to be the man of the house because his father had left.
How old was he when his dad left?
Probably about 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. So if we're trying to recreate the picture in the few minutes that we have on radio, I may not have all the details, so I apologize for getting something wrong if I do. But if he grew up feeling like he was the man of the house, he had to step in his dad's shoes, then he and Mom had to coordinate things, didn't they? If she's the lady of the house and he's the man of the house, were there many other kids in the family?
Yeah, 2 other ones.
2 other kids? Younger?
Yeah.
So he took on a parentified role at a very young age.
Right.
And he's got some sort of bond with his mother that makes it much more difficult for him to feel independent of her.
Okay.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so you need to be able to speak. How do you let him know that this is a problem?
That's the thing. I've been holding it in.
Oh,
Sometimes
don't do
I'll
that.
mention some stuff, like you're a mama's boy. You always have to call your mama every day, or you have to talk to her every day. It's not like that. I don't want him to have any communication with her.
Yeah.
I would love for him to have communication with her, but it just seems like it interferes in our relationship.
Okay, so you let it get to the point where you get so frustrated that you start labeling him as a mama's boy.
Right.
And he has got to resent that because he's probably thinking she has no idea. Lynette has no idea what I went through with my mom, Dad leaving, taking care of the kids, and if I want to spend time with my mom on Christmas, I'm not going to abandon her the way Dad did. There may be some thought patterns that he has like that. But he needs to be able to share those with you. So what I would recommend is to say, honey, when you have a chance, try to catch him at a time when he's open to talking with you. I would love to talk about how to deal with the holidays and how to deal with your mom in a way that works for both of us. Help me understand you better. And then you need a skill that's called active listening. One of the hardest things to do with a loved one is to listen to them, not biting your tongue in a way that you'll never speak up, but just postponing the speaking up for a little bit. You want to draw him out so you get the story, just as a therapist would, to understand the richness of why he acts as he does. So he shares with you, I feel so guilty. I don't know how to say no to my mom. I want to be with you. I would love to spend Christmas with you, honey. But I don't know how to say no to her. So then it's skill building. Could we go to therapy and maybe learn some skills? You might suggest that. Could we get a book? Could we listen to some tapes on assertiveness to help you out, to help both of us out? Because otherwise it's mom versus you, and it's he's going to feel pinned in the middle. He's going to at times want to throw up his hands and just run away. So you want to be loving towards him and then honest with him. Let's work together so it feels like we're the prime unit, not you and mom and then you and me, and mom and me at war with one another, silently, subtly, very subtly. Let's try to help mom see that the bases have changed, or that the situation has changed, and that help encourage her. Mom, I know how much you would love to spend Christmas. Let's make 2 Christmases this year, and for this Christmas we'll spend it with you. Next Christmas we want to celebrate our anniversary together. You may be able to wean him off of her that way, or both of you wean yourself off of her. So the more you do it with kid gloves, but not by shutting up and biting your tongue ever. That will bite you so badly moving forward, Lynette. You need to have a voice in the marriage. If you bite your tongue, it comes out aggressively with everyone. You bite it for so long, and then you just say, I'm going to tell you how I really feel now.
Yeah, go out.
So don't call him a mama's boy. Instead, work with him to see how you can both move on and have more of a private life.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call. I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner. You're listening to The Rational Basis of Happiness. Look forward to being with you again next week.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance by Drs. Kenner and Locke.
Here's another tip for handling unreasonable resistance. Let your partner hear his or her own words. If your irrational partner calls you a coarse name, bitch, pig, ignoramus, or mocks you, you might try repeating their words. You're calling me a bitch and telling me I'm worthless. Sometimes hearing his or her own words helps the irrational partner recognize what he or she is doing and to tone it down a bit. If your partner persists in using insulting words, the relationship is likely unfixable. In situations where your partner may pose a physical danger, you must act to protect your safety first. Take physical threats seriously. If you think your partner might harm you, get out of the house, move to a secret location, and get professional help as soon as possible.
Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com and at amazon.com.